The hidden reasons founders micromanage. It's not control. Most founders believe micromanagement is about control. It's not. It's rarely ego, rarely power, rarely dominance. It's something far more structural and far more dangerous. If you're a B2B founder, solo operator, or early-stage CEO, this pattern may already be limiting your scale. And you probably don't even see it. You tell yourself, I just care about quality. We're still early. No one understands the product like I do. I'll step back once the team is stronger. But somehow, you're reviewing everything. Every sales email, every product decision, every landing page change, every customer conversation. You're not trying to control, you're trying to protect something. Let's break down what's actually happening. 1. Micromanagement is often cognitive insurance. Early-stage founders operate in high uncertainty. Revenue isn't guaranteed. Retention isn't stable. Product market fit is fragile. So your brain compensates. It tells you, if I stay close to everything, risk decreases. This feels rational, but it's an illusion. In B2B environments, complexity scales faster than oversight capacity. Your involvement doesn't reduce risk. It concentrates it. Micromanagement becomes cognitive insurance, a way to reduce internal anxiety about external uncertainty. 2. You don't trust the system because there isn't one. Many founders say they don't trust the team. But the deeper issue is structural. There are no decision frameworks, no clearly defined standards, no documented playbooks, no measurable output expectations. When systems are ambiguous, founders default to proximity. Proximity feels like leadership, but it's often compensation for missing architecture. You're not controlling people. You're compensating for undefined operating principles. 3. Your identity is embedded in the work. In early-stage B2B companies, the founder is the product. You built it. You shaped the messaging. You closed the first deals. You handled the first churn. So when someone else executes imperfectly, it feels personal. Not because of ego, but because the work and your identity are fused. Micromanagement becomes identity preservation. You're not protecting the business. You're protecting coherence. The problem is scale requires detachment. 4. You confuse standards with supervision. High standards are essential, but standards do not require constant oversight. Smart founders often equate, if I don't review it, quality drops. That belief usually signals one of two things. Standards are not documented. Expectations are not calibrated. Supervision is a substitute for clarity. When expectations are precise and measurable, oversight reduces naturally. Without clarity, you become the quality control layer. And that layer does not scale. 5. You're addicted to being needed. This is subtle. In the early days, your involvement saves the company. You fix deals. You catch product flaws. You rescue onboarding mistakes. You become the stabilizer. Over time, that role becomes psychologically rewarding. Not emotionally dramatic, just cognitively reinforcing. Being needed signals value. Delegation threatens that signal. If the system runs without you, who are you inside the company? Micromanagement sustains relevance, but relevance at the center blocks organizational maturity. 6. You haven't redefined your role. At $0 to $100,000 AR, you are a builder. At $100,000 to $1 million AR, you are a decision architect. At scale, you are a constraint remover. Many founders try to operate at all three levels simultaneously. So instead of evolving upward, they expand horizontally. You keep tasks instead of redesigning your scope. Micromanagement often signals role stagnation. The company grows. Your function doesn't. 7. You don't trust leverage yet. Early traction often came from direct effort. Founder-led sales. Founder-written copy. Founder-designed roadmap. So your brain associates growth with direct involvement. Delegation feels like reduced output. But B2B scale depends on indirect contribution. Leverage is uncomfortable because outcomes become less immediate and less controllable. Micromanagement is an attempt to preserve linear cause and effect in a non-linear environment. 8. You fear silent drift. Here's what founders rarely say. If I'm not involved, what if everything slowly degrades? Not catastrophically, just gradually. Quality slipping, standards eroding, momentum slowing. Micromanagement becomes a hedge against silent decay. But ironically, over-involvement creates a different form of decay. Slower decision cycles, a reduced ownership, a dependency loops, initiative paralysis. You prevent drift by building accountability, not by inserting yourself everywhere. 9. You're avoiding the harder leadership upgrade. It's easier to review a sales email than design a sales philosophy, define a qualification framework, build a compensation structure, create a feedback cadence. Micromanagement is tactical. Leadership architecture is strategic. Strategic design is slower, less visible, and more cognitively demanding. So smart founders default to tactical proximity. It feels productive, but it limits compounding. 10. Micromanagement is often a signal of unprocessed risk. Ask yourself, what am I actually afraid will happen? A revenue drop? Reputation damage? Team underperformance? Investor perception? Loss of control narrative? Micromanagement is often an unprocessed risk response. Instead of addressing structural risk, you manage symptoms. You review work. You adjust details. You stay close. But the root issue remains unexamined. The structural reality. Micromanagement is not about control. It is usually about unclear systems, identity fusion, undefined standards, role stagnation, unprocessed risk, low trust in leverage. And none of these are solved with more involvement. They are solved with design. The founder upgrade. If you're a B2B founder or operator, run this audit. Where am I inserting myself because there is no framework? Which standards are implied but not documented? What decisions require my judgment that shouldn't? If I stepped away for 30 days, what would break and why? Is my involvement increasing ownership or replacing it? Micromanagement disappears when architecture replaces proximity. Scale begins when your value shifts from execution to structure. Certainly, if you recognized yourself in this, that's useful. Most founders don't micromanage because they want control. They micromanage because they haven't rebuilt their role for the current stage of the company. And that's solvable. If this changed how you see your leadership model, stay in this line of thinking. Reflect. Audit your structure. Because the next level of growth doesn't require more effort. It requires a different operating system.